comunque se qualcuno poi arriva lo mettete voi, giusto?
Sì. Sì, adesso la sala
Non c'è più la sala, quindi chi entra diretto.
Okay, so good morning to all of you, and I'm Alessia Bernardi from University of Milan, UNIMONT Center. And thank you for your participation to this webinar. And I bring you the greetings from Professor Giorgi, who unfortunately can't be here because she has a sudden commitment, and I leave the floor to Professor Giulio Senes, and thank you to you.
Okay, good morning to everyone. As you know, I hope as you know, this seminar is in English because we are in Italy, but the course is an international course, and it's an international master on valorization of the mountain areas. And I'm very happy to host Arancha, that is a very good friend from a long time. And we work together and we collaborate inside in the framework of the European Greenways Association. I see a lot of Italian people, so I hope you can easily understand my Italian English, but also the good, very good Spanish English of Arancha. That is fantastic. And I know there are also several friends that I see after a long time. I see Ranko. Bye-bye. I've seen also Mirko and Maria and some friends from abroad, and I'm very happy to see them here. I see also a lot of former students of me, and it is also, I mean, I am so proud that I'm being able to contact them and they are accepted the invitation. Before starting, I would like to say a couple of words. First of all, related to this master course. This master course is something so new in the European panorama because it's related to the valorization of mountain areas. I teach inside this master course a small course of 8 credits, 6 credits about the valorization of the mountain area from tourism and recreation using active mobility and using greenways as part of the active mobility infrastructure to improve tourism, but in a sustainable way. This type of the solution for improving tourism is something that we know very well as the European Greenways Association, and it is something that is related also to the development of rural territories, marginal rural territories. We really think that developing greenways and active tourism is a way to improve the economy and the social structure of these marginal areas. And this is why I asked to some friends this year to give the opportunity to my students, but also to other people that reach these seminars to show their experience. In Italy, as you probably know, we are at the beginning of this development, but we have other countries, very close countries like Spain, Portugal, for example, in which they have a national program. A national program is something really very important to push the movement. So today we have the first seminar of this year. In the next weeks, we will have other 2 seminars, one from Portugal, another one from Spain. And I will take the liberty to invite you again, sending you the flyers of the next 2 seminars if you would like to join like today. And this is an occasion to share the knowledge among us. So many thanks to Arancha and for accepting to be here. And a technical note, every comment or every question is really very welcome, but for the organization reasons, it's better to wait that Arancha end the speech. So at the end of the speech, we will have 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, it depends on what you want to do, to ask Arantxa some more in-depth information, or to comment, okay, what he said during her speech. So after the end of the speech of Arantxa, you can I don't know what to say. Raise, many thanks to my students. Sorry for my English. You can raise your hand, and you can ask to speak and to make the question. So, Arantxa, please.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. And first of all, thank you. No, first of all, I'm sorry and I apologize because my poor level of English, and I hope my Spanish English could be understand. And if not, the data that I'm going to show you and the pictures could help you to understand all the speech. And on the other hand, thank you very much to Giulio, Senes, and the University of Milan to invite me and to give me the opportunity to share with all of you the Spanish Greenways program today. And as he has said, I'm going to present by presentations, and I'll try to put a small video after that, and then there will be time to speak with all of you and to make questions and so on. So I'm going to share the screen in order to put the presentation. I don't know if you can see. Oh, sorry.
No, Arantxa.
No.
We see not the presentation. You see the other PowerPoint.
Oh,
Can you put in the presentation? Yes.
Oh my God. Now the mouse has decided not to run. I'm sorry.
Try to exit from the presentation.
Yes, it's because the mouse it doesn't run.
Okay.
And I have not it's not a portative, so I have some problems. So, oh my God.
The presentation is already open.
During the demo
Arantxa.
time, there was no problem.
Arantxa, the presentation is already open.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's already open. You see at the bottom of the screen, you have click where is the symbol of PowerPoint.
Yes, I know, but it's the mouse that now doesn't work. I'm so sorry. It's
No.
No. Let me. You don't have the presentation, no? In order to. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Don't worry. Don't worry.
So well, we can start. So sorry for the small problem. Yes, well, I wanted to say I'm Arantxa Hernández. I the manager director of the Spanish, not the Spanish Greenway Foundation, but the Greenways area of the Spanish Greenway Foundation. That is a foundation, public entities in 1985 of the Ministry of Transport and Sustainable Mobility. In the patronage, the president is the Renfe president. So our members are the railways companies, Renfe, Adif, regional railways companies, subways, and the objective of this public foundation is research, maintenance of railways cultural heritage, and the coordination and promotion of a program named Spanish Greenways Program. This from 1993. So in this year, at the beginning, in 1983, the Spanish Greenway Foundation prepared an inventory of disused railway lines commissions ordered by the Ministry of Public Works, Transport and Environment, with the public railway companies, Renfe and Adif. And you can see over there the map of with these red lines that it was the abandoned railway lines. So you can see there are a lot of kilometers in all the country, in all the regions, nearly in every provinces. So the amount, it was 7,600 kilometers of disused railway lines, with a lot of heritage related with the stations, tunnel, bridges, and so on. So we started to see in other countries that the Greenways already existed in United States, or in Canada, or in France, and we see that we say rails with trails, Greenways. So here in Spain, we adapt the concept and the name as Vias Verdes. So at literal translations about the Greenways and whatever. So the year after, in 1994, the brand Vias Verdes, or Greenways in English, was registered, and the use of this brand is legally restricted in Spain to all railway infrastructure, reuse, and non-motorized sustainable itineraries. I know in other countries, and because we were working on the European Greenways Association, that the Greenways in other countries, the concept is bigger. It includes canal towpaths and so on, but here in Spain is restricted for all railway infrastructure. In 1995, the 4 entities that started the program signed an agreement to promote the establishment of these Greenways at the highest levels. One of the partners was the Ministry of Public Works, Transport and Environment, that then has been changed the name of the ministry. So nowadays, this role is played by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fishery and Food. And they have annual budgets in the general state budgets to executive works to invest on recovery these disused railway lines into greenways. Nowadays, from 20 years ago, under a program denominated Natural Trails Program, Caminos Naturales Program. But you can see also that regions, you can see in the figure that regions and local public administration has also budget to invest on that. So more or less 50% between at national level, and the other 50% by the regional and local public administrations. Another important body part in this program is the railways companies, FEBE, the narrow lines, and ADIF, administration of the infrastructure. Perhaps you know more Renfe, but ADIF is the part of the company that manage the railways, the infrastructure. So they provide the abandoned railways, not only the infrastructure, but also the buildings, so the stations and so on. And we, the Spanish Railway Foundation, as a public foundation from the Ministry of Transport and Sustainable Mobility, we make this role like advising and try to dynamization, promoting, and trying to revitalize the old railway lines as a new greenways at the state level. But as I said before, it's quite very, very important, and it has been determined the success of this program, the further implication of the regional and local public bodies. So in all regions, except in Canarias Island, because over there wasn't abandoned railway lines, so there are no greenways, but the rest of the regions in Spain are involved. So provincial and regional public bodies, more than 700 municipalities and associations of municipalities or consortium of municipalities are involved in the success of the Spanish Greenways program. There is a close collaboration between the different levels of the public administration, from national to local. So I think this is one of the keys to have a national program about greenways. And I would like to highlight the importance of the role that plays the local administration, because they are responsible of drafting of the studies and the engineering project. They are responsible to obtain the patrimonial disposal in order to about the infrastructure and also the buildings. And at the end of the day, they manage the daily task, the maintenance and the daily promotion of their own business or their own greenways. So they are the real actors on territory. So, and here in the Spanish Railway Foundation, we have also an area in order to make technical projects to recovery of this infrastructure, and in engineering area to make technical projects. And today, after 30 years of existence, because last year it was our birthday, the progress we consider has been very, very positive. This image is the logo of 30 years of Spanish Greenways. So now in March of this year, we have 139 greenways as non-motorized itineraries. That it means 3,500 kilometers, more or less, of greenways, including the greenways that now are under works. And it means the recovery of the 46% of the disused railway lines. So we have a lot of works to do still, but this is the amount. In 30 years, perhaps not so much. I would like to have the 100% already made, but this is the figures. It means an initial investment of more than 200 million in recover just the infrastructure. And I would like to mention that this amount is just only the first amount. It's just only the first recover of the infrastructure, but it doesn't include maintenance, promotion, action plans, plans for employees, etc. So if we could consider all the invest, including of Greenways, of course it could be multiplied by, but I don't know for what, but this is just the initial amount for recover the Greenways. So the goals was and is still being the same, but especially at the beginning of the program, just the goal was recover of the railway heritage, the rails, the engineering elements, the tunnels, viaducts and stations, because we as Spanish Railway Foundation, it was our main goal, but now it came other goals that related with the development of the territory and so on. So at the beginning there was inventor more than 1,000 railway abandoned viaducts and bridges, And thanks to this program, this important heritage is being solved by ruins. For example, you can see some pictures about viaducts and railway bridge and in all the country, and also including attractive design for new footbridges over rivers, over high roads and other orographical points. That means new bridges or new footbridge. You can see these nice pictures in Burgos, in Sierra de la Demanda Greenway. And also important elements of the infrastructure is the tunnel that was invented in the beginning, 500 tunnels in abandoned railway lines. And this is very, very important in order to guarantee the universal accessibility, because Spain is, after Switzerland, perhaps not everybody knows, but the second most mountain country in Europe. Sometimes it doesn't seem, because the roads goes looking for valleys or looking for the flat areas in Spain, but in fact is a very, very mountain country in Europe. So bridges and tunnels are the way to make easy, secure, and accessible for everyone. So in the technical projects, in the didactic speech that we made in order to convince municipalities or promoters, is the way to recover these important infrastructure tunnels and bridges. Because we have demonstrated, and there was a European project named Greenways for All, that these infrastructure are the most inclusive itineraries for access to nature nowadays in our country. And is the big difference, apart from other type of route, trails, or itinerary, that of course there are a lot of kilometers of other kind of itineraries, but this is the guarantee for make trails for everyone. Here, and because we are in a seminar about mountain areas, we have prepared a map with the altitudes and so on, and in relations with the greenways, and you can see easily that the most of the greenways are in mountains areas, and 12 itineraries, more than 300 kilometers, are situated over 1,000 meters of altitude. So it means that greenways are very, very related with mountain areas. And it's also a high correlations between mountains areas and unpopulated areas. And if you can see territories considered unpopulated, it's when the density is less than 8 or 10 inhabitants per kilometers. And you can see in the European map that we have several and a lot of provinces that there are by less of this amount. So it's very important for those regions. In the empty Spain, we talk about the empty Spain or the emptied Spain, because the concept of a development of several circumstances that makes that a lot of territories in Spain has not completely, but very insolate, very empty. So you can see that more than 50 Vias Verdes are in municipalities with less of 15 inhabitants per kilometer quadrado, and it means the 33% of the network. So for that reason, to have these non-motorized itineraries that promote sustainable mobility, healthy leisure, sustainable rural development, active and accessible tourism, that promotes hiking, cyclotourism, and other activities. It's quite very important in this kind of territories because one impact in territories without populations, in mountain areas, with a lot of difficulties under the economic point of view, means higher importance than perhaps any other kind of impact of the classical tourism in other kind of the countries, in the coast or in the cities or cultural or in cultural tourism, etc. Because in Spain, tourism is the first economical activity, is the 13% of the GDP last year, but it's a model still based on a sun and beach model, and the Greenways program contributes to give a small part of try to change the model of the sun and beach model in Spain. Last year, we had a record of international tourists, and it's okay, very good to have millions of international tourists here, but the importance of promote this kind of tourism as new tourist market is one of our goals, not only from the people that we are going in the program, but a goal in at a national strategy. So Vias Verdes could contribute a lot to this strategy. Another important aspect of the program are the facilities and services, obviously for the users, and it goes to the restoration of disused railway stations. As we said before, there was nearly 1,000 railway stations in disuse when we made the itinerary. The inventory, sorry. So nowadays there are 120 railway stations restored and with touristic uses. You can see some pictures, the situation before and after the restorations. Now we are doing an inventory and a microsite related to former stations. It's going to be, I think, a very nice work in order to see all the information regarding these former stations. Well, you can see here some pictures before and after. This is in Greenway in Catalonia, for example, Benifallet, that you can see over there. Now it's recovered as a hostel, restaurant, hiking for hire bikes, etc. And it's important not only because it recover the heritage, but also because it give facilities for tourist uses and provide local employment and support the rural areas, the economy of the rural areas. So it's an element, and it's very nice to go through the Greenways and stop and take a coffee or stop and visit a small museum and get information. So it's for me, my personal point of view, is one of the most interesting part of the Spanish Greenways program. So for the pictures, you can see. And it could be since hotels are high category for stars hotels, but also a small charming hostels, camping sites. I think here in the seminar today is the responsible for this picture. So Maria Jimenez, I think she is here with us. She managed the Via Verde de la Sierra. So this is over there, and very nice place. So camping sites also, or even caravan places that is increasing in the last year, and it's very demanding by, especially for foreign people that are looking for caravan places very near of the Greenways. And for example, this one is just on the Greenway in Via Verde del Aceite. Also restaurants, cafes that are, as I said, contributing to the local economy, and always trying to maintain the atmosphere of the last railway over there in order to maintain the memories and the past of our history and economy in the territories about the railway. Also, the stations are places that contribute to the local economy through this selling local products, especially kilometer zero for food, for example, wine or olive oil or different kind of products, handicrafts, gifts, souvenirs, and so on. By points, natural railway museums, or even swimming pools. For example, this one is in Madrid region, in Via Verde del Tajuña, so a lot of and different uses. And other important thing is the preservation of the railway heritage as an identity sign to define the Vias Verdes as a specific and genuine touristic resource. It's not another trail or it's in any path. It's the important is to maintain the history also of the railways. So not only buildings, but also mobile railway equipments like locomotives, wagons, railway carriage, and some of them also with new uses. And in fact, here in the Spanish Railway Foundation, we have a commission in order to put in value the railway heritage. So we receive demands from the territories in order to have elements for the railway. And after some studies and so on, we can facilitate these elements in order to put in the Greenways. And it's very important also to give more context about the railway past. So this one, I love this picture because it's a very ancient locomotive on the Via Verde del Aceite, but also the cyclists as the new users, the past and the present and the future, just in a view. So these objectives remains valid nowadays, and now are embedded on the current government strategies and aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals. As we can mention the important role of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fishery and Foods through Caminos Naturales, Natural Trails program, with the recovery of lines and with the investment and to put funds in order to recover the infrastructure. Also, the Ministry of Transport and Sustainable Mobility that now has a bicycle state strategy from 3 years ago that it has been implemented, and now we are manage the calls for it with well, not so much millions, but the first millions for invest on cycling infrastructure. And also ministry already involved is the ecological transition and demographic challenge, as we have mentioned, the important the Greenways as a tool for to fight against these populations. So as a demographic challenge. So Greenways, the Vias Verdes, has expressly includes in the plans and the documents in the, to fight against this demographic challenge. On the state bicycle strategy, Greenways are included at least in 3 lines of the plan, like cyclist infrastructure, cycle tourism, and leisure and sport on bicycle. And we are working in 2 interministerial work groups in cycle tourism and in intermodality. So making press or lobby, or I don't know how to define, in order that to position Greenways in the strategy at national level and in different ministries. And one of the main goals for the future is to have a bigger web that includes all the cyclist itineraries, of course, Greenways, that it will be ready in a few months in June, if it's expected to have been already done in June, in collaboration with the National Geographic Institutes and other actors. We also put the image of France because it's our neighbor and mirror in which to see what we wanted to make, to have a web with all the information included and a cycle network. And last but not least, another important ministry involved in the strategy is the Ministry of the Industry and Tourism. And it has very important now with the next generation European funds through the recovery, transformation and resilience plans, because a lot of funds has come for tourism sector. And it has been a very hard work, but important to get to achieve that the Vias Verdes expressly appears on the documents that then we have we get funds from the next generations European funds dedicated just for Greenways through to planifications documents like tourism sustainable plans and destinations and Spain tourism experience strategy. And it means that a lot of millions have came in the last 2 years after the pandemic period just to invest on Greenways through the Ministry of Tourism. And the other one is the Spain Tourism Experiences Strategy, and now the Spanish Railway Foundation with 11 partners from 7 regions. We have presented a project, and we are waiting because in a few weeks it will be approved or not, but we expect we can make an important project in different regions with Greenways, and especially for Greenways. Experience Greenways is the name. Because how many uses Vias Verdes has? Well, in fact, we don't know exactly for the whole country, because we don't have a platform or a monitoring system for all the country, but there are a lot of between 12 or 14 Greenways has eco counters in order to know how many people came to Greenways or use the Greenways. You can see, for example, in Girona, in Catalonia, last year there was near 1 million uses of the Greenways. Uses that no users, that it's not the same. So it's not exactly the name of persons, but the name of uses. Or for example, in Extremadura, half millions uses, or here also in Catalonia, a lot of uses. Well, you can see different figures. We say that the Greenways that are well maintained, well promoted, and well managed has an average of 200,000 users per year. So it's not bad because we know that where are located these Greenways. So under the economical point of view, the importance of cycle tourism in Europe, that perhaps you already know these figures that are old because they have 10 years. But a study made by the European Parliament say that the cycle tourism in Europe made an impact of 44 1,000 million euros by direct impact, and another one for the indirect impact. So in Spain, the percentage of the cake is just only the 4%. So we have a huge growth potential. I think this is all data, and perhaps this is not nowadays is not the 4%. I hope is a little bit more, but it gives the idea of related other European countries what the cycle tourism represents in Spain. No? And it's not only more impact than other activities in the common Europe, but better distributed in the territory and with important for local economies and rural territories. So this is an advantage. And talking about promotion is something that we made from the Spanish Railway Foundation, and of course by the other partners. Promotion and communication of the Spanish Greenways program at national level is something that we made, but also at regional level or local level has been already promotion too. And it's very easy, or quite easy, because we have a brand, a quality brand already recognized, and it make us easily to make this promotion, because some greenways and destinations have their strategies of promotion of the itineraries, but others no. So in that case, Spanish Railway Foundation plays this role for all Spanish greenways as with different channels. So we manage European and national projects, or we stay at international and national fairs like Fitur or Fits and Wanderburg in Utrecht and Gante, that we have been 2 weeks ago, or attend radio and television programs and interviews. We are in contact permanently, daily, with media in order to provide pictures or articles or interviews or whatever, workshops and conference, calls for citizens. Well, this is the picture about the Utrecht fair just 2 weeks ago. We also have apps for Android and iOS, or a monthly newsletter when we made the news related with Greenways. Of course, this seminar has been included in the last newsletter that was sent to a lot of subscribers yesterday. We already have 2 handbooks, Vias Verdes Travel Guide in hard copies, in paper, in books, and also in digital version for ebooks. Official roadmaps by the Ministry of Transport and Sustainable Mobility annually it's included the Greenways. Of course, the social media. We have pages on Facebook, on Twitter, in Instagram, a YouTube channel, also in Wikiloc for the routes, and iVox to including podcasts, that it's an audible way to promote also the Greenways. Well, you can see over there the figures about the followers and so on. And it's a very demanding task that makes and consume a lot of time, but within it worked to do it and to spend time through these channels. A new website that we had inaugurated yes, the last year, at the end of last year, more adaptable for all kind of electronic devices and so on, with the 2.5 million pages view in last year, and so on. And this is the portal to look for any route or any news or activities and so on. And another important activity that we manage is the Spanish Greenways Day since 1999 during in May. And last year, for example, more than 25 activities in all over the country and more than 6,000 users was participate on that. So we make the call and all the local managers organize the activities. And in addition of this Spanish Greenways Day, there are local activities during all years long. So marathons, trails, exhibitions, I don't know, even Zumba activities in La Via Verde de la Sierra, for example. So sports activities in general. So it's very, very, very common all over the country. And something also we consider nice or important is that the Google Maps has included all the tracks of the Spanish Greenways in the cartography, so it appears as any other infrastructure in the map. So it's important because everybody has on the pocket the Greenways nowadays through the mobile. So there is an annual update. It was quite difficult to convince Google, but now we are friends. So it's nice in order to make further projects like towards more digital greenways. So, for example, we had made digitalization of the greenways in Basque Country, Navarra, Madrid region, in order to have the greenways in Google Maps Street View, on Google Earth, and also through different projects in Google Arts and Culture. So it's a nice way to promote it at international, also an international level. And on this topic, on international promotions, we have an important agreement with an annual action plan with Tour España. Tour España is the section of the Ministry of Tourism, charged of promote tourism, Spain tourism abroad. So the inclusion of the Vias Verdes as a product in their strategies is quite important because, Tour España usually promote destinations, regions, but the idea with this agreement is promote this product, this specific products as Vias Verdes. So we provide content for the website in different languages, or brochures in different languages, or social network campaigns through the different offices in the different countries. For example, well, you can see over there some screenshots of the campaign in Italy through the different offices in Rome and in Milano, etc., or of course, in other markets. Social network campaigns, advertorials. We organize 2 or 3 farm and press trips during the year. So the journalists and the tour operators came to Spain in order to know Greenways, and then they write articles or include it as trips to sell in the catalog and in their offers, in order to attract new tourists. Also support international fairs and so on. And at the international level, it's quite very, very important to mention the European Greenways Association, of course. Perhaps you know that Giulio Senes is the president of our European Greenways Association. I'm the general secretary. And it's a very important association in order to promote greenways along Europe. It was created in 1998 in Namur, in the Valorant region. in Belgium, with the aim to make an inventory of existing greenways, promote the realization of new greenways, encourage the use of greenways in Europe. It has 51 members from 16 countries at the different levels: national, public entities, local and regional, also association. The secretariat and the executive seats, it's in Madrid, it's here in the headquarters of the Spanish Railway Foundation. So the director is a colleague of mine. It's very close to me. So it's easy to try to work together, in my case at national, but in collaboration at international level through the European Greenways Association. And with them, we have been in collaboration in a lot of European projects, like, well, you can see from RiverMed in the past to several ones: Greenways Product, Greenways Outdoor Habitat, Silver Cyclist, Greenways for All. And the last one, the Impress, recently submitted, thanks to the Universidad of Milano, that has made a lot of hard work. So thank you very much again. We are with the fingers crossing in order to be approved, because we think it will be a very new opportunity to work in the transition tourism pathway, and in order to improve the competitiveness of the small and medium enterprises linked to the European Greenways as a common ecosystem, the greenways, but also the small and medium enterprises as services providers. So I hope we can work on that in the next future. So, and now what we consider are the main strategic lines for improve or for advance. First of all, to maintain identifying the image of the railway as the origin of this infrastructure, as a product, as a brand, Vias Verdes brand, to harmonize the different marks and brands and denominations that there are, in the whole country. So greenways, nature trails, cycle path network. So to organize it is quite important, as I said before. The creation of this Spain by Bike, this state network of cycle routes, because to position Spain as a cycling tourist destinations, we need more greenways, but also more connectivity between them and with the towns and with other infrastructure like Eurovelo routes, long distance itineraries. So at the end of the day, organize it, promoting, and to put it just as a network and create a unique website. So it's in programs. Ministry of Transport, it's going on this, and we hope it could be quite soon. Monitoring, to have a comparative use and socio-economic impacts must be measured. If not, how to demonstrate that to improve or to invest in this infrastructure worth it. So to have more eco-counters in all the greenways as the basic equipment in the construction projects, make demand studies, surveys, in order to know the motivations or the money they spend when they visit greenways, and with methodologies comparable with other cases in other countries. Improve the management process and more maintenance support, because there are voices that say, okay, we have enough kilometers nowadays, but we have to improve the maintenance of that. So perhaps it's true. So it's not a question to grow and grow in number of kilometers, but to maintain in good conditions what we have, that not always is easy and not always is done. And another issue and a key is the railway access to Vias Verdes and cycle routes. It's true that Spain is not an easy country to put cycles on trains, but it's an opportunity and a necessity to go further. We know that the cyclists love trains. A recent report from the European Cyclist Federation has said that this is the situation, and by countries, of course, Spain is not in a very good position. So we need to advance in intermodality for cycle tourism and leisure, also for commuting and for daily movements, and to give more clear the information about the bike on trains, not only to improve the facilities, but to improve the information, when it's possible, when it's not, which trains allow the bicycle, which not, and or under the conditions to permit to carry the bikes on the train, etc. But despite of the challenge and of the possibilities and the future, we are proud about the situation, and the Spanish Greenways program was awarded with the first prize of International Program of Good Practice of the Habitat Program of the United Nations. So it was the first prize that we received. And the last one was just a few months ago in Rome, in Italy, under the European Greenways Award. So the special jury decides to give us an European Greenways Award for the as a recognition at 30 years of Greenways program. And for us, it is very important because it's a prize for the entire Spanish Greenways ecosystem. So a lot of people, a lot of administrations, a lot of even users has made possible this award. So just is what I wanted to say today. So Spanish Greenways, more than 3,400 kilometers for cycling, mobility, health, tourism, and environment in a very mountain country as Spain. Grazie mille. Thank you very much.
Grazie mille, Arancia. Thank you to you. And do we have a video to share with us?
Yes,
Yes.
I too.
And in the meantime, if somebody would like to send a question or to ask a question to Arancia, can write in the chat or raise the hand.
I don't know if you can see the video.
At the moment, no.
No? Okay, well, let me see again. No?
Before the seminar, we make we try the systems and we succeeded. Now, of course, during the live session, we
Always
have
happen kind of things. I'll try again, and if not, it doesn't matter. I don't know. Why not? Because first I have to share and then
Can I make one question?
Hi, Mirko.
No?
Okay,
no?
bye. Perfetto.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Lines at their heritage since 1993. A program featuring extensive institutional information on many routes now managed by ADI. An important contribution from the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Food and previous ministries. Commitment on the part of regional, provincial and local authorities. Spanish Railway Foundation has been promoting and advancing greenways for 3 decades. sustainable local development of territories, keep accessible and healthy leisure, mobility and bicycle culture, bicycle touring, trekking, and new ways of enjoying sustainable, responsible tourism. Circular economy, reusing, recycling, restoring, and reevaluating railway infrastructure in Spain, in alliance with sustainable development goals and the fight against climate change. 3,300 kilometers, 135 municipalities, 125 stations for tourist and cultural use. Greenways of Spain and Europe, a contribution to our continent's future.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, many thanks to Arantxa. So I understood that Mirko Radovanac has a question. Is it correct, Mirko?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Please.
Well, hello to everyone, and particularly to you, Arantxa. We really heard a fantastic presentation about your achievements and what's going on in your country. It's really impressive. I wonder a bit, you presumably, I cannot remember now, have Eurovelo routes as well. And how do you compete with them? Because these are somehow two concepts. And is there are there any sections where you overlap with Eurovelo and perhaps have the same sections like your Vias Verdes and Eurovelo? I somehow suspect that Eurovelo concept is more, I would say, Central and North European concept rather than our South and Mediterranean. Is there any competition, or how about applying for some funds and things, or it is totally separate? Thank you.
Well, no, it's not a competition. It's a complementary, and in fact, Eurovelo route in Spain it's not already finished, so it's going on, and 500 kilometers of Eurovelo are under Vias Verdes. Vias Verdes is part of Eurovelo in 500 kilometers of that. And of course, I have the idea that the best sections of Eurovelo routes in Spain, or in most of them, are because are on over Greenways. For example, the entry of the Eurovelo one from the Pyrenees to Spain, it goes through two Vias Verdes, Plaza Ola and DiSAA Greenways. So it permits more or less flat in very mountain areas in order to come to Spain. So it's complementary. In fact, next week, the General Assembly of Eurovelo in Girona, and we have been collaborating and supporting the assembly over there, and we are going to participate in the meetings and so on. So it's something, and also in the interministerial work groups that I mentioned. It's Eurovelo, it's Greenways, it's other groups, the regional authorities. So we are in the ecosystem of trying to make this country as a cycling country. But you're true that the concept is very Central Europe concept, and here it's quite complicated for Eurovelo. the standards to comply the standards of Eurovelo regarding gradients or separate non-motorized infrastructure and so on.
Many thanks. We have a question from Pino Fiumano, a friend of mine. He works in the Mauriziano Hospital. So we design and plan together for have a better access to nature for health reasons. So his question is if the Vias Verdes programs have seen some investment from monetary point of view, or at least for engagement of the Ministry of Health, because he thinks that there is a good relationship among physical activity along greenways in a safety environment with increasing and improving health. So the promotion of general health of the community, that is one of the topics of the Ministry of Health, if in some way in your country has met the Vias Verdes program or not.
Well, in fact, it's something that is in the agenda, as we are going to have to do it, because it's in fact nowadays is the Ministry of Health. It's not involved in the Greenways program. Well, we have made small things along the time, but it's not so included as in other ministries. But there, through the, in Spain, the health, it's, is chaired by the regional governments. So the part of the regional government's church of health has implemented more activities or plans related with greenways that at the general or a national level.
Yes, it's the same in Italy, I suppose, but we have to push, very clearly to the health system. I know that as a European Greenway Association, we had in the past some contact with the World Health Organization, because in some ways is really very recognizable that active mobility, so greenways and health are as a common way to promote health in the future. So there is also another question I asked to Alessia to show me the question of Daniel Murek. Andrea De Montis, a colleague of mine from University of Sassari, thanks you, Arancia. And Daniel asked if you can give us some example of circular economy along the Vias Verdes, and how strong is the concept promoted at Vias Verdes program. I know it's a very interesting question, and I anticipate, as Arancia says, that we have, presented this new project, impressed me on this, exactly on this topic, how to improve the circular economy and the sustainability of the small and medium enterprise in the Greenways ecosystem. Anyway, the question is, in Spain, along the Greenways, if you have some example of circular economy.
Well, now we all talk about circular economy, but the real is that in the past we didn't use this concept, but to recover, reuse, recycle the old infrastructure to new uses. In fact, it's a little bit, or not a little bit, it's a circular economy as well. So as a total concept, including services providers and enterprises and so on, is what Giulio has mentioned. Is something that we have to work further in the future. Well, not in the future, now as a challenge. And for example, in La Via Verde de la Sierra, there has been award in the last European Greenways Award because of to introduce this concept in the manage of the greenways, and and how the enterprises are under this topic. So it's not exactly implement, but it's something to do it with with more intense in the future. Yeah.
Okay, many thanks. I would trying to read for everybody the chat. In Spain and French, this is the Minister for Ecological Transition. The actual Italian government has forgotten the word ecological transition. The Minister of Infrastructure, do you think that considers the greenways and the circular economy on the inner areas? It's not a question, I suppose, for Arancia, because it's related to the Italian ministry, I suppose, if I understood well the question. Anyway, yes, I agree. The new Minister of Infrastructure is not working a lot on sustainable mobility and also on cycle tourism and of course on greenways, unfortunately. But anyway, we hope that the things can go better in the future. And if there is no other question, I have a couple of questions for Arancia by myself or my students. And the first is, which is, in your opinion, the added value of having a national program? Because what we experience in Italy, but also in other countries, is that each local authorities, can be a region or a province or 2 or 3 municipalities that put together their experience, have a lot of difficulties to promote their own greenways on an international level. We have seen in Rome, for example, the example of la Via Verde della Costa dei Trabocchi, that is 50 kilometers in Abruzzo region along the seaside. It's a wonderful greenway. But the lack to having in Italy a national program, not only for having a standards, for having a brand, but for also the promotion, it's something that probably penalize this wonderful situation, because they are alone in promoting in the international circuit. So this is our impression, but I don't know. I would like to know your opinion about this, which is the added value of having a national program.
Well, I think, to be honest, to have an entity as the Spanish Railway Foundation from the beginning has been an added value respect other initiatives. No, we know that there are a lot of infrastructure in all Europe for related greenways. But sometimes even we don't know where they are or where exactly the initiatives are, because are not complete or compilized. I don't know the term. Sorry. In a strategy in order to put together all the initiatives of any country. No, so perhaps if we wouldn't play this role, Spain could have a lot of routes, a lot of from railways, abandoned railway lines, but perhaps with different names in different conditions, and spread as another itineraries, but nobody knew exactly the number of greenways or a national program or the possibilities to have a unique website with all of them. So I think this is the value. No? Perhaps the Italian Railways Foundations that I know you have a foundation related to promote the railway in Italy could have any small department at the beginning, one person, just in order to put perhaps together all the infrastructure in other countries. I think this is the value. No, other countries has better infrastructure or better cycle paths and so on, but to have an entity that try to promote day by day during 30 years this history is a success for all of the network.
As you know, we tried, and we are trying day by day to have this, but it's an hard work. Another question is related to the topic of our course, that is related to mountain and fragile areas. We have seen in your presentation that we have, in some situations, you have a very huge amount of users. For example, in Vias Verdes Girona, almost 1 million people a year, or 1 million uses a year. So do you have any experience? And we know that on one hand, I mean, the territories ask to have tourists as a source of incoming. But on the other hand, we have experiences in other touristic sector that over tourism, in areas with fragile areas, if you have too many tourists, it's a problem for the environment, both for the natural environment, but also for the social environment. Do you have any experience in the Vias Verdes in Spain, where in some period, in some places, we have experimented also this over-tourism on Greenways, or at the moment we don't have any effects of this promotion of Greenways?
Well, in fact, the Greenways, or tourism in Greenways, it's a part of the minority tourism in Spain. So the general tourism, some of beach tourism, acting tourism, and as a part of the acting tourism that is not the majority tourism, is cycle tourism, and over there, cycle tourism on Greenways. So at the end of the scale, it's a minority tourism in the system of the general one. So over tourism, in fact, there are not some except, for example, small Greenways that there is in the coast, in the Mediterranean coast, between Oropesa, Benicàssim, well, two towns, that the Greenways is in the sea, completely in the sea. So and it's very short, it's just less than 10 kilometers. So in August, for example, it's crowd of people during the evening, people by them, but it's nearly. It's just an example. No, it's not. There is not a problem to have the over-tourism. In fact, it's a tool to fight against the over-tourism. For example, the cities that started to have this kind of situation, I'm thinking in San Sebastian, for example, in Basque Country, they are trying to attract people from the city to the countrysides through the Via Verde that comes from the city to outside, in order to put tourists along the territory and not in the main centers of the cities and so on. So it's a tool against the over-tourism.
And the last question is related also to the project that we presented to the COSME call. And if you have some figures about the small and medium enterprise along the Vias Verdes ecosystem, if in your opinion they are ready to have a sort of ecolabel or something like that, a sort of certification. I mean, because you have Greenways for more years than in Italy, for example. And it's interesting for us also to understand if you started before us to convince the operators that make business along the Greenways to change their way of seeing, the business and moving to a more sustainable business, or not.
Well, we will see. I hope we can convince the small and medium enterprises in the territory of Greenways that it's worth to work on to get a more sustainable level of quality and to be ready for certifications and so on. But to be honest, I think they need previous adaptations from the digital point of view, for example, or because are small companies, I don't know. So we will see. It's important, and we try to do our best. But are small companies, no? So
you have the same problem that we have in Italy, I suppose. They are not ready at the moment to change completely their business, probably. Okay, I cannot see if there are any other questions or other raised hands. I asked to Alessia, there are any no questions? It seems no. So I thank you again, Arantxa, for coming here, also virtually. I told to my students, if they want to come to have some experience, we can contact you and asking your help to anyway. I mean, to visit your Vias Verdes. In March, we will have also Maria that will speak about the Vias Verdes de la Sierra in another seminar. It is really interesting for us because it is a typical, mountain greenway, no? in an area with low population. So it's something that we can take as an example for our master course. And I will.
The best example that you have chosen, so it will be nice.
Yes, it's also impressive. I mean, it's 6 municipalities, very small in population. They have 300,000 visitors, uses in a year. So it means that there is a good, big movement. So we will listen to their experience. And I will only, before finish, tell that in the internet site of the UNIMONT, okay, the University of Mountain, we will host on the YouTube platform the registration of this seminar. So, I mean, if you want to share with others, you can find it in that location. And I will ask then to Arantxa if it is possible to have the PDF of your presentation to share again, not only with the students, but also with other people that participated would like to have, the PDF of your slide with the number, the figures. So if you can send us,
Yes.
we will share with the participants. So thank you again also to all the participants. I hope you enjoy the seminar, and I hope to see you again the next one that will organize in this March. Thank you very much.
Thank
again.
you very much to all of you to listen to me for nearly an hour with this awful English and so on. And again, thank you very much, Giulio, for inviting us to join to your seminars.
Thanks again. Bye-bye to
Thank
everybody.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, Arancia.
Ciao, Natalia.
Ciao, Maria. See you later.